Kids love animals. In fact, I've never met a kid that doesn't. This activity is by far one of my kids' favourites, and my wife and I regularly do it with them when we go bushwalking, camping, to the zoo, or even just with animals and insects they can find in the backyard. So what we're going to do here is create a wildlife documentary starring your child or children. Basically, we'll film lots of different shots of animals and then record your child setting up the show and talking about each animal individually. It's super easy, it's super fun, so let's get started. Before you grab your mobile, you need to decide on the name of your wildlife documentary. It could be something simple like Johnny's Wildlife Adventures, Sarah's Dangerous Backyard Beasts, or Simon's Safari. Have a bit of fun with it and come up with something that your child really likes, as it'll help them get more excited about the activity. You'll also need to download the activity title page and Wildlife Explorer badge and get your child to colour them in. Once you've done this, you'll need to take a close-up photo of the title page so you can use it in the edit of your story. The Wildlife Explorer badge is for your child to colour in and wear while they're doing the activity. It'll look great on their shirt and you can stick it on with sticky tape. Now in this step, we'll be filming the animals, which is the majority of the work in the exercise. First of all, you need to think about what animals you want to feature in the show. The more or less rule applies here, as the more animals you have, the harder it will be to edit. So if I was you, I'd aim for somewhere between 3 and 6. Now there are 2 different ways you can approach this, and your choice here probably depends on the age and trustworthiness of your kids. Option 1 is that you can do all the filming yourself with a little help from your kids. Or option 2 is that you give them the mobile and they do all the filming. If you do this, it might be a good idea to take them through the 9 rules of mobile filming, otherwise you'll end up with hours of shaky footage and extreme close-ups. Now, when you're filming the animals, try to get 2 different shots of each animal, so you have a total of about 10 to 15 seconds of footage of each one of them. Another shot that you should try to get here is a few shots of your child interacting with the animals, say patting a kangaroo or holding a bug, or even shots of them watching the animals, as we'll use these in the edit later. The next thing we need to do is record your child's introduction to their wildlife program. Now that you've decided on a name, it's time to work out what they're going to say for their introduction. Ideally, it should be about 1 to 2 sentences only and should cover the how, what, and why. Something like this is perfect.
Hi, my name is Maggie. Welcome to my wildlife adventure. We're at the farm now.
Now, if you've got kids over 5, they should be able to handle this pretty easily. But for younger kids, just try breaking it down into 1 sentence or saying the lines to them first and getting them to repeat them back to you. The last thing to consider is the location that you film your introduction. If you're filming at a zoo, maybe do it in front of some signage at the front of the zoo. Or if you're filming in your backyard, find a nice shady spot surrounded by trees. By now you should know which animals are going to feature in your documentary. Provided in your workbook is a list to write down the animals that you're filming, so keeping a record of this should be pretty easy. Now what we need to do is record a little piece to camera with your child talking about each animal. What they liked, what they didn't like, and any facts that they know.
I feeded the horses and one of the horses tried to get my dress because I thought it was real flowers.
Okay, we're getting close. We've just got one last little bit to film, and that's to film the close or wrap up. For this, you want to get your child in a nice location and get them to talk about what they've learnt, their favourite animal, and then get them to say goodbye. For example, something like this.
Thanks for watching Maggie's Wildlife Adventures. Bye!
Okay, now it's time to put all this together in the edit. But don't worry, if you filmed it in the way that I've explained it to you, it should be super easy. Now, open your mobile editing app, which will be iMovie or Action Director, and let's get cutting. Create a new project and add all of the files you're going to use in the edit. The next thing to do is rearrange them so the clips are in the right order. And that order should be a photo of the title slide, your child's introduction to the wildlife documentary, a few shots of them interacting and looking at the animals, which will turn into a montage, and then the first animal introduction, followed by 2 shots of the animal, the second animal introduction and 2 shots of the animal, and so on until you've included all of the animals. Now that you've got all of your clips in order, it's time to trim them, cut out any of the dull bits or mistakes, and make it as smooth as possible. Then all you need to do is add a background track if you want to, and you're done. Now you've created your very own wildlife documentary to share with the world. Watch out, crocodile hunter. When you actually go to create this activity, make sure you print out your workbook and bring it with you. It's a great reference and will help you plan and structure your filming and editing. Happy exploring.